It was an exciting week down here. Boy, do I have a fishing gallery to show you. Stay tuned, the Mexican Minute is coming up. Well, hey gang, how you doing? Jonathan here for Tailhunter Sportfishing, and it's time once again for the Mexican Minute La Paz video fishing report, coming to you from La Paz, Baja, Mexico, and covering all of the fishing action for our Tailhunter Sportfishing fleet in La Paz, Baja, Mexico. Wherever you are, hope you're doing well. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for spending time with us, and once again, if you like what we're doing all these years, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, a like, and don't forget to subscribe. This is going to cover all of the fishing action for us down here from the 26th of June through the 3rd of July 2023. Okay, a lot of exciting things happened since our last report. I got to tell you, it looks like we're finally into a summer bite. Yellowtail, yeah, we still got a few hanging around, but I think the waters have finally warmed up enough that the yellowtail bite, a phenomenal yellowtail bite, by the way, that we had this past season, I think it's pretty much finally over. The waters are just a little bit on the warm side, but that's not a bad thing. A lot of folks have been waiting for the Dorado and some of these other blue water species to show up, and yes, indeed, with the water between, I got to tell you, it's warm, 80 to 85 degrees on the surface. Great water to go swimming in, scuba diving, snorkeling, but that is also bringing in the blue water species. Finally starting to get a nice load of Dorado, some nice schoolie-sized fish in the 5 to 10 pound size, but also some of the larger models, the 20, 30, even some 40-pound Dorados starting to swim around. It's getting better. It's not as good as it was last year at this time when it was just full blast, but as the waters get warmer, as the waters get bluer, I know we're going to start seeing more and more Dorado. On top of that, finally, everyone asks when are the tuna going to show up, and honestly, we haven't had a real good tuna bite the last couple seasons. Had everything else jump into the boats, but not really a good bite on tuna. They've shown up sporadically here and there, but we finally got a first look at what our tuna might be. We've got some nice footballs off the south end of Cerralvo Island and also outside at the 88 bank. It's kind of a far run, but the tuna blew up out there for a couple of our boats. They found them under the porpoise schools. The porpoise are moving fast, but our folks got some lures into the water, got some bait out there, and they said the tuna just exploded. Nothing big, although I heard a 100-pounder was hooked and lost, but most of these have been football-sized tuna in about the 10 to about 20-pound size. Just the right size, not the kind that are going to hurt you, but just a lot of fun fish. Great, of course, to bring back to our Tailhunter restaurant. We make some sashimi, some poke, get the rice cooker going, and we have a good time eating some fresh tuna. And like I said, Dorado are showing up. We have had a couple biters on Wahoo, nothing in the boats yet, but what we're seeing is finally the marlin are here. I know a lot of folks want to come down and check it off the bucket list. I've never seen so many marlin as we've had this last week or so. We've had striped marlin, we've had sailfish, we've had blue marlin, we even had a white marlin hooked up as well. Now, 99% of these fish are getting released, which is great. A couple have been brought in because they couldn't be released, and a couple that were brought in, they donated all the meat to the locals. We had a 350-pound blue marlin caught. Captain Victor got our folks onto a nice big one that they fought for about an hour. The folks were kind enough to donate that to the whole pueblo. The whole pueblo pretty much had a big fiesta and ate blue marlin one night. The barbecues were going, the tacos were out, had a good time on that. Striped marlin also biting, had a white marlin on as well. Like I said, most of these are getting released. Some big sailfish in the waters. We had some in the 100 to 140-pound class caught and released. And some folks are telling me there's marlin everywhere. They're trying to keep them away from the boats. Usually the season starts and the marlin are swimming around. They're just kind of warming up, sitting on the surface. Can't get them to do anything. Well, this last week we couldn't get away from them in some cases. So, it was a good week on marlin, although a lot of folks really would rather not catch a marlin. It's quite a battle, and a lot of folks know they're going to release them, and frankly, they'd really like to catch some other fish so they can put them inside the coolers and bring them home to eat. So, been a pretty good bite. The cold water fish, not so much. As I said, the yellowtail, I think, have finally moved off because they are a cold water fish. Amberjack, we didn't get any of those. Didn't get any Sierra for the first time. Didn't get any of the Rainbow Runners for the first time. There are still some Jack Crevalle have been fairly predominant. Still some big bonito out. White bonito as well as the skipjack are here. Trevally and Pompano also came in on a couple of the boats. So there's still a nice variety. Pargo and Cabrera are here all the time if you want to fish in the rocks. But overall, a pretty good week. Temperatures finally getting a little on the warm side. It's cool. I just got off putting out the boats. I had a jacket on this morning. It's breezy in the morning, and we've got a southern wind that seems to keep plaguing us some of the mornings, and it is kind of cool and it is a little bumpy, but by about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, it settles out real nicely, and then everybody's praying for a breeze because it gets pretty warm. Temperatures have been in the high 90s during the daytime. Nighttime temperatures are really cool, 72, 73, 75 degrees, something like that. Anyway, that's going to be a really quick wrap up on what's going on. Stay tuned. Don't turn me off. Check out the fishing gallery. Got a lot of great photos to show you this week, so hang in there. I'm Jonathan for the Mexican Minute. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a like and a thumbs up. You take care. God bless. We'll catch you next time.